one candidate fighting for us in 2016. It's Bernie or bust, Bernie or bust, Bernie or bust. In 2016, it's Bernie or bust, Bernie or bust, Bernie or bust.
Hey, this is Robert Brown, the host of B or BTV, and I'm sending this message out to every minority elected official. Now, I know, first of all, I thank my God that you're there. But I also pray that you do effective legislation for the people of this country. I fear that there's more effective legislation going on for the 1% elite than the people who put you in office. Where do we go from there? How did we get from being for the people, by the people, to supporting corporations and helping them and their lobbyists form our laws? I don't want to get on that. That's another subject I can get on my show. But this is for all politicians of color, but mainly to the Black Caucus and our first black president, Barack Hussein Obama. What is going on? What is going on? Since the start of this election, there has been injustice. Dr. Martin Luther King said, injustice in one place is injustice in every place. That's my paraphrase. From the moment, and I just want to deal with the DNC because I'm used to the RNC with the voter suppression thing, and we're used to challenging them on that. I can understand that. But somehow, some way, some form, we've lost our marbles. We have become the kings of voter suppression now, not the Republicans. They are nothing compared to us. They're like Pee Wee Herman and we're the Incredible Hulk when it comes to voter suppression. You can't tell me, Black Caucus, people like John Lewis and the rest of them, too many of them, the name. And you can't tell me, President Obama, I don't know if you're going to get this message, but I'm giving it a shot. You can't tell me that you don't know what's going on. You can't tell me that you don't see this. You got to be blind as 15, 20 million bats. Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, you got to be totally blind. But even if you were blind, you still would know this. Because you got ears. From the moment this thing started with Debbie Wasserman Schultz being the DNC co-chair, running the DNC, who was the co-chair of Hillary Clinton in 2008, her girl, trying to get her elected against you, President Obama, who leaked pictures of you in Muslim gear and tried to figure out whether you were really a Christian or a Muslim. These same people who played that dirty card against you is playing dirty politics against Bernie Sanders. And for some reason, somehow, I don't know how they did it, they have become the voting suppression kings and queens of today. Republicans ain't got nothing on them. What happened in Massachusetts? Total fraud. Why is Bill Clinton at the polling places of a state that he is not, he do not live in, and he do not represent? Why is he there? He's there to block the lines. There were people who were complaining that they couldn't even get in to vote, and the line was already long, and they had to get back to other things like pick their kids up, get back to work, and things like that. And the time they had to get in to vote, they weren't able to vote because he was going around meeting and greeting everybody, smoozing and kissing, and saying, hey, my wife would appreciate you. And that's blatantly campaigning for his wife. That is illegal according to the law, to the voting laws, and nobody is saying nothing about that. And if it did, it's just going to be a slap on the hand, just like you slapped the hand of the people who brought this economy down. Nobody's saying that he did that twice. Nobody's saying about the blatant cheating in the caucuses. Nobody's saying that. Nobody investigating that. And this is coming from the first black president, first female attorney general. Yeah. In the Black Caucus. Nobody know nothing. Nobody saying anything. Our head is in the ground. I would say somewhere else, but in the ground. What is going on? We lost it. You guys, I mean, you're supposed to be representing the people. You lost, and you're totally turning your back on this thing as if nothing is happening. I don't hear none of you saying anything about these things, saying it's wrong. Why? Because it's the left up the golden girl. The one who helped you get in office by her conceding, and the one who helped them get in office and they feel like they owe her. And you don't owe nothing. What is going on? Moving on to New York. Hundreds of thousands get purged from the roll. 3 million independents like myself being locked out of voting. Well, not me. I was smart enough to find out the date was way in October switched. Why is the date to switch party affiliation way in October before anything gets started, when most of the states, they give you 90 days before your election date to switch? Our election is in April, and they're switching way over there in October 2015. That is voter disenfranchisement, making sure that the independents don't get a chance to vote in an open primary or a closed primary, because this primary was closed. Knowing the fact that the man Bernie Sanders won majority of New York State, is just in a few metropolitan areas he's so-called lost, but those so-called places have so many people crying voter suppression, voter disenfranchisement, voter fraud, that now they're looking in and finding some of the stuff is true. But you guys are not saying anything about it. And you're supposed to be the ones who supposed to respect, honor, and make it easy for people to vote. Why? Because we fought and died for this. People were fried. People were shot, killed, hung for the right to vote. We weren't trying to suppress the vote in any way, shape, or form. Here, Debbie Wasserman Schultz saying, if it was up to me, there'd be more closed primary. Why are you closing the primaries? Because you know if the tighter you close it, the more your girl cannot win. Because every open primary, that man is kicking her behind. So you close the primary where only established Democrats can vote, and they normally vote for her. And not let other people who would love to vote for a person in the primary. So lock them out. We don't want nobody from the grassroots, her words, coming in and voting somebody that we don't want to be president. We see this thing is gone from the DNC determining who's going to run for president instead of the people. And if the people rise up and say something and make their voice known, we're going to shut them down by suppressing the vote. What is going on? What is going on with democracy? The Democratic Party, the root word of the Democratic Party means democracy. And we jump from democracy, jump over the hurdle of oligarchy, and going straight into dictatorship. Because the same thing that is happening in the DNC is what happening with the Nazi Party. They assert their will over the will of the people and put that man in power, and look at what happened. And you telling us to fear Trump because he may be the next Hitler? He don't have that machine doing that. Those people voted for him fair and square. The DNC machine is totally churning for that one person. They all are kissing up to that one person. They all are championing that one person. Why? Who knows why? Because of the Ready for Hillary fund, I believe. All these illegal things going on, and you guys turning your back. These things are blatantly illegal. What happened in Arizona? Things still haven't been certified because the people still crying. What happened to the polling places? Let me get back to New York. Here I am. I'm out here passing out flyers trying to encourage people to go vote for whoever they want to vote. Of course, I got flyers telling people to vote for Sanders. But here they are. I get elderly people saying, what is going on? I normally just go to the post office around my corner. I've been doing that for 15, 20 years, and they tell me I got to go cross town to vote. They changed the location. These people have been settled in their vote for 20 years, and they're changing the location to cause people to give up. Who wants to get all the way? I mean, you're an 80, 90-year-old lady, and you normally go around the corner to vote, and now you got to go cross town and catch the bus to go vote? That's a type of suppression. And nobody's saying anything about this. Yeah, somebody's saying about this, the Sanders camp. Because the Hillary Clinton camp ain't going to say nothing about it because it's to their advantage. And everywhere there's cry of voter depression, it's not where he won, it's where she won. Where are you guys? Where are you, Mr. President? Where are you, Department of Justice? Where are you, Black Caucus? We as black people, we fought and died for people to make it easy for them to vote. And now we're suppressing it? And we're turning our back on that? Going down to Arizona, another closed primary, neck and neck. All of a sudden they cut down the polling places, went from 250 plus to 60 something. And the people have to scrounge around town to try to get into these voting places, and the line was already a mile long. And you cut down the polling places, you go to the place where you normally go vote, and it's no longer there. That's a type of voter suppression. You're suppressing the vote. Now, let me talk briefly. I got about 9 minutes about what happened this weekend. Democratic National Convention in Nevada. What it was, the Tropicana Hotel? I forgot what hotel it was. It is time to start dealing with these delegate counts. Go watch the video. You can't tell me, Mr. President, Black Caucus, Department of Justice, that nobody is crying to you about what happened last weekend. You can't tell me you're not looking at the video, but yet neither one of you guys are coming out to say anything about it. You're just brushing it off. And this is a serious deal. What happened was wrong. The people didn't even get a chance to motion. The vote was supposed to have been taking place at 9:30. They changed the voting time where it was only them people, the establishment people in the room, and they quickly did that vote before the people got an opportunity to come in to vote. That is voter suppression. That is not democratic. That is suppressing the will of the people. And they mull over everything that these people took time out of their schedule, flew down there, they came down there, they paid their hotel fee, they stayed at the convention, they listened to all the normal stuff that goes on, and then when it came down to do business, you're going to change the time and not let the people know you're changing the time? And you're going to do a real quick vote then? Now, I'm not going to go into the whole story because the story itself is a story. And the other reporter's going to do that. I'm not a professional reporter. I'm just a brother on the street that has a voice and a video camera, and thank God for YouTube. And have a small audience building up. Thanks everybody for participating. But this is how we feel. Wherever there's injustice in one place, there's injustice everywhere. You guys got to get on this. You're turning your head against justice. You're allowing injustice to take place in America, which is supposed to be the land of justice, where justice is supposed to be for everybody. And we're turning our back. The moment we turn our back on justice, we embrace injustice. And that's what's going on your watch, Mr. President. This is to tarnish on your legacy. And you're letting this happen. And this thing is going to bite your legacy more than the mess of Hillary Clinton in Libya, which you regret, letting her go in there and do that thing. This right here is going to hurt you worse. You got to stand up. Don't let your legacy go to crap over this. As I said it against Bernie Sanders, and I said it against John Lewis. You can do the right thing for 20 years, march for freedom, go out there and stand with the people, whatever, and at the last minute you do something that sells out the people or sell out your own legacy, and your legacy is gone. It's a shame. You can have 8 years of a great legacy in front of Republican instruction. Whatever. With the Republicans blocking everything that you want to do for 8 years, and this right here is the nail in the coffin of your legacy of negativity. Bill Clinton, great legacy. It was that one incident of Monica Lewinsky and that tarnished his legacy. Don't let this happen to you on your watch. You got to stand up for this, sir. You got to stand up for this, Black Caucus. I know that's your girl, and I know you probably want her to win, but she's winning crookedly. And that's the reason why Trump is calling her Crooked Hillary. There's some illegal injustice things going on. I don't side with Trump. I'm not even going to vote for him. But I got to call a spade with a spade. The man is right. It's a lot of crooked things going on in her favor. And you guys are not saying anything about it. And this last one is blatantly in your face. And it's on the news as I speak. And yet, you, Mr. President, haven't came out and say anything about it. And as the first black president, I would think you would. Loretta Lynch is not saying anything about it. As the first woman black Department of Justice Attorney General, I would expect you to do that. Black Caucus, John Lewis, the so-called freedom fighter, you gotta stand up against that. I know that's your girl, but you gotta call a spade a spade. You gotta call what's wrong, wrong, and right, what's right, right? Don't let your legacy get tarnished because of something like this. Yeah, I know you want her to win, but this illegal stuff gonna fall back on you. And it's a shame that you could march with Dr. King and build up your political career based on that one march over Selma and have it get tarnished because you're turning your head or even participating. And I say if you don't do anything about it, you're participating. That's the way I see it. When you see somebody getting beat up, a man beating up his wife, and you turn around and go the other way, you participated in that. Oh, I'm out of my business. No, you participated. You ignored it. You saw it. You should have did something about it. I'm saying the same thing with you. You saw it. You need to do something about it, and I expect you to do that. Do something. We burners, we independent party who can play a big role in this election. Expect you to do something about it. So I adjure you, Mr. President, Black Caucus, Attorney General, people of color. We fought and died for this. Don't you turn your back on this. Don't you put your head in the ground on this, and don't you toot your tush at us about it. You guys got to do something about it, because if not, you are part of the process of jumping over oligarchy and going to Nazism and fascism, and it's going to be done on your watch. And I would say shame on you if you let that happen. Now I'm done. I had to get it off my chest. It's some illegal, unfair stuff going on. It's been going on since day one. You guys see it, but you're not saying nothing. And that's shame. Because when a man is silenced, refused to open his mouth when it comes to injustice, I call that person a coward. Please prove me wrong. Feel the burn.
There's only one candidate fighting for us in 2016. It's Bernie or bust. Bernie or bust. Bernie or bust. In 2016. It's Bernie or bust. Bernie or bust. Bernie or bust. In 2016. It's Bernie or bust. Political assassin smashing. What time for some action?